Leafy Corner might be one of the coziest demos I've played in a long time, but I spent almost the entire game standing behind a counter clicking on things, and eventually I realised I never actually needed to move. Welcome to the High Court of Games, where I, the Queen of Hearts, judge the games that enter these halls. Here, champions are crowned victorious, and the unworthy are sent to the graveyard. Some games stand before the court in a full trial, a complete review after extensive time and evidence. Others may return for a retrial, when major updates or changes force the court to re-examine the evidence. And occasionally the court may hear an appeal where the original verdict itself is called into question. But not every game arrives before the court after hundreds of hours of evidence. Some begin with a preliminary hearing, where the court examines first impressions, early evidence, and the potential of a game before any final judgment is delivered. Today before the court, we hold the preliminary hearing of Leafy Corner by Fireline Games. And if you'd like to witness future rulings from the court, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss any future trials. Leafy Corner is a cozy plant shop management game where you serve customers, complete quests, unlock new plants and decorations, and slowly build up the reputation of your little store. And within minutes, this game makes it very clear what kind of experience it wants to be. The music is soft and relaxing, the visuals are clean and charming, and almost everything about the game is designed to create a calm, low-stress atmosphere. This is not a game trying to overwhelm you, it's trying to help you unwind. The quests also do a surprisingly good job of keeping the demo engaging. Having customers walk in with requests and slowly unlocking new plants and decorations gave the game a nice little sense of progression that kept me wanting to see what came next. During the early gameplay, that progression loop works really well, because there was always another little objective waiting for me, another customer to help, another plant to unlock. But once the available quests ran out, I quickly realised how much they were carrying the overall engagement of the experience. And eventually one thing became impossible for me to ignore. I never moved my character, at all. I spent almost the entire demo standing behind the counter, dragging and dropping and clicking on things. And when the customers walked into the store, I was still interacting with them from behind the register. And while that absolutely contributes to the cozy atmosphere the game is aiming for, it made the gameplay feel a little too passive for me, because I never really felt like I was actively doing anything, and that meant I never really felt fully engaged by what I was doing. At that point, it became really clear to me that this game would probably work best as a mobile or a second screen experience, because so much of the gameplay revolves around dragging and dropping, holding and releasing objects rather than actually moving around the space. The interaction style already feels perfectly suited to touchscreens. Combine it with the relaxed pace and the lack of urgency, creates a very low stress experience that feels ideal for sitting on the couch, listening to the music, and casually checking in while doing something else at the same time. And honestly, I hope that's a future direction the developers may consider exploring, because for a lot of people, that's probably where this style of gameplay would feel most at home. But for me personally, when I'm gaming on my PC, I usually want to feel a little more involved in what I'm doing. I want to be moving around the world. I want to be physically interacting with the space I'm spending time in. I want the gameplay itself to keep pulling my attention back in. Maybe this is just a personal preference thing. Am I the only one who wants physical interaction and engagement when gaming on a PC? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because I'd genuinely be curious to hear how other people feel about that. Unfortunately, once the quests stopped giving me direction and purpose, there just wasn't quite enough interaction left to keep me fully engaged. Even though there were still more plants I could technically have unlocked, I never really felt excited to keep playing just for the sake of collecting everything, because by that point, I'd already felt like I'd experienced everything the gameplay loop really had to offer me. More than anything, I just mostly felt finished. And so, after reviewing the early evidence presented before the court, Leafy Corner is sentenced to the graveyard. Not because it fails at what it's trying to do. In many ways, it succeeds beautifully. The music is soothing, the atmosphere is calming, and for players looking for a low-stress, cozy experience they can casually relax with, I can absolutely see this game finding an audience. But for me personally, when I'm gaming on my PC, I want more interaction with the world around me. And once the quest stopped giving me direction, there just wasn't quite enough gameplay interaction to keep me invested long term. Leafy Corner may simply be too cozy for this queen. Court dismissed.